Hello, Churchill here, head teacher at Churchill Academy Sixth Form. Welcome to my weekly update letter, the video version of the update letter sent on Friday the 12th of February 2021. So we've reached the end of this lockdown term. It's hard to believe that at the end of last term we were celebrating Christmas at Churchill with a fancy dress parade, a socially distanced sports awards ceremony and the competitive online head teachers quiz. At that point, this term's national lockdown and the announcement of exam cancellations seemed a very remote possibility. But here we are, at the end of term 3, with 6 weeks of remote learning and frontline provision under our belts, awaiting the next policy announcements on school reopenings and exams. It's been a challenging and difficult period for everyone. We've all faced the emotional and psychological challenges of social isolation. Many families have also faced financial difficulties and uncertainty about the future as businesses have closed or contracted. And I'm sure that many of you will have felt the same sense of powerlessness and lack of control that I have felt as we've had to learn to cope with a completely changed world. What we've tried to do at Churchill, as your children's school, over this term is to provide some stability and as much certainty as we can. We've tried to provide routine and structure to our students' days, with the normal timetable operating remotely. These weekly updates have been in our attempt to tell you what we know now that we didn't know a week ago, so that you can stay abreast of all the latest changes and what we still don't know. We provided voucher support to families eligible to free school meals, help with computer equipment and mobile data to those who need it, and essential supplies through our Fair Share scheme. And finally, Frontline has provided a place for as many students as possible to support critical workers and those young people who need it. It's been heartening to see these efforts recognised and appreciated in the responses to last week's survey on remote learning provision. Over 92% of respondents reported positively on access to remote learning, with the overwhelming majority agreeing that the amount of work set was about right. The individual comments and feedback on the survey were very insightful. We've read them all, and they'll help us to refine and develop our remote learning and tutor support still further in term 4. We were also touched and encouraged by the many messages of thanks and support that families offered via the survey. Thank you. So the way ahead, we're expecting an announcement from the Prime Minister on the first day back after half term on Monday the 22nd of February to lay out his hopes of a plan of a roadmap out of lockdown, including the wider reopening of schools. Following that announcement, we will need to mobilise one of the many contingency plans that we've prepared for different possible scenarios, including full reopening, phased or staggered reopening, or even a rota system. We want to be able to work through all the details of the announcement and the subsequent guidance to ensure that we are fully prepared and to be able to provide you all with as much clarity as possible. We therefore anticipate sharing our planning with you via this weekly update letter and video on Friday the 26th of February. We will also update the website on that date with the latest planning and information. Thank you in advance for bearing with us in what promises to be a very busy first week back. Now, as this term ends, we say farewell to 3 colleagues who are leaving the Academy. Mrs. Helen Rawlins and Dr. Alexis Hunter-Craig have both been with us over this past year, covering colleagues on maternity leave in the languages and science faculties, respectively. Both have been fantastic members of staff to work with and excellent members of the Churchill team. A group of students actually begged me to let them stay this week. We wish them both well as they finish their contracts with us, and as they depart we look forward to welcoming back Mrs. Griffiths in languages and Mrs. Patterson in science as they return from maternity leave. Finally, we say farewell to Mrs. Desiree Tomlinson, who's retiring after 20 years at Churchill as a teaching assistant and latterly a tutor in Stuart House. Des's kind heart, infinite patience, understanding and advocacy for students with special educational needs have been the hallmarks of her time with us. We wish her well as she retires to spend more time with her grandchildren and family. She'll be sorely missed, but I'm sure she'll remain a close friend of the Academy. And with that, I wish all of you a safe, healthy and happy half term. We will see you, even if only via Google Meet, Zoom or YouTube, when we resume on the 22nd of February. Thanks so much.